Hello everybody, today we will be reading FGTeeV Campfire Tales, The Curse, the Campground. This is part 10, this is part 10. Yeah. Now let's continue. Pang. The Cursed Campground. The first cracked Dracula. The first cracked Dracula in the head, the second in his stomach, and the third in his groin. Strike, strike, strike. But the fourth one made a different sound, because Dracula caught it in mid-air. Dracula twirled the pan by its handle as he walked toward Chase, who was now out of pots. It seems your sneak attack did not work, he scoffed. Says you, Chase shouted. Blitz! Mike exploded out of the pantry and tackled Dracula to the ground. The count ground. If Mike hadn't hurt him, he'd at least knocked out the wind out of him. That gave the brothers the first time they needed to make their escape. Come on, Chase, let's go. They slammed through the swinging door and headed for the exit. Mike fumbled with the doorknob for a minute. He had forgotten that they'd locked it behind them earlier. Come on, Chase said through the swinging kitchen door. They could see Dracula pulling himself off the floor. Mike turned the deadbolt, and the two brothers ran out into the night. Dracula heard the door slam shut inside the kitchen. The boys had gotten away. He struggled to catch his breath, but he wasn't disappointed. He knew that they would lead him to the rest of the family. Count closed his eyes and wrapped himself in his cape. In an instant, poof, a cloud of smoke swallowed him up, and when it cleared, the man who had introduced himself as Count Dracula was gone. In his place was a screeching bat. The bat flew to the window and crashed out through the glass in search of its delicious-looking prey. As they ran into the night, Mike said a quick prayer for their safe return to Moomy and Duddy. You can really see the religion now. Moomy and Sean ran through the woods away from the cabin. Actually, Moomy ran as fast as she could and dragged Sean by the arm. Moomy, wait, she heard him say, but Moomy kept going. It wasn't until he shouted, "My pants!" that she turned to see what was wrong. Sean's shorts were around his ankle. Moomy had pulled him so hard, she nearly pulled him right out of his pants. We almost had another full moon tonight. She joked. Sean pulled his shorts up to cover his pants, and Moomy said, "Let's go." She grabbed him by the wrist and kept going. But Moomy, where are we going? To the car, so we can get help. Then she muttered, "If we can find a car." No, Sean hit the brakes by digging his feet into the dirt. It slowed Moomy to a full stop. We can't leave the dogs behind. When we come back with the police, we'll be able to rescue everyone. Before Sean could protest, there was a rustling behind the trees. Get moving, the mummy's catching up to us. Sean dropped himself to the ground so Moomy could pull him. I have to find Oreo, Ollie, and Callie, he said. Mumi grunted as she tried to lift him up to his feet. Sean, we have to go, but Sean wriggled free from Mumi's grip. No, he shouted. He turned and ran as fast as he could. Between some bushes. Mumi pushed through the thicket to follow. It wasn't a big opening for her as it was for Sean. The branches scratched her arms, but once she scrunched her way through, she found herself in the middle of another path in the woods. She didn't see Sean anymore. She was afraid to call out to him because she didn't want to draw Mumi's attention. But her baby was in trouble. Sean, she said in a loud whisper. There was no answer. Mumi wasn't sure if she wanted to follow the path to her left or to her right. Both ways led to nothingness. Then Mumi heard another rustling. Sean, come out right now. This isn't funny, she whispered again. Still no answer. She saw some branches shaking back and forth farther up the path. Someone was there. Mummy was going to call for Sean again, but thought better of it. Obviously, if it was Sean, he wouldn't answer. He was trying to run away in her heart. Mumi silently prayed for guidance, trusting that God would help her find Sean quickly. Mumi ran to where she saw the moving branches. She was about to pull them apart, but hesitated. Mumi's heart was racing. She took a deep breath. Then she pulled the branches apart and looked inside.